Fumio Kishida quotes. Fumio Kishida is a Japanese politician serving as Prime Minister of Japan and President of the Liberal Democratic Party since 2021. A member of the House of Representatives, he previously served as Minister for Foreign Affairs from 2012 to 2017 and as Acting Minister of Defense in 2017. From 2017 to 2020, he also chaired the LDP Policy Research Council. Born into a political family, Kishida spent part of his childhood in the United States where he attended elementary school in New York City. After beginning his career in finance, Kishida entered politics and was elected to the House of Representatives in 1993 as a member of the LDP. Kishida was appointed to various posts in the cabinets of Prime Ministers Shinzo Abe and Yasuo Fukuda from 2007 to 2008, and was appointed Minister for Foreign Affairs in 2012 after Abe regained the premiership following the 2012 general election, serving for 5 years and becoming the longest-serving foreign affairs minister in Japanese history. Kishida later resigned from the Abe cabinet in 2017 in order to head the LDP's Policy Research Council. Kishida also assumed control of the Eltsu Kochikai faction in 2012 following the death of former faction boss Makoto Koga. Long considered a potential future prime minister, Kishida ran in the 2020 LDP leadership election, however he lost to Yoshihide Suga. He ran again for the party leadership in 2021, this time winning in a second-round runoff against opponent Taro Kono. Kishida was confirmed as Prime Minister by the National Diet 4 days later on the 4th of October 2021 and led the LDP to victory in the 2021 general election later that same month. Kishida has been described as an ideological moderate within the LDP and has stated that his premiership will focus on a new model of capitalism by seeking to implement redistributive policies to expand the middle class. On foreign policy, he plans to continue strengthening the Quad security dialogue in pursuit of the free and open Indo-Pacific strategy. Fumio Kishida quotes, "We must absolutely defend free and fair elections, which are the basis of democracy. We will proceed with our election campaign as planned with the firm conviction that we will never yield to violence. Violent acts taking place during elections, which are the basis of democracy, can never be tolerated. Japan as a whole must strive to provide maximum security during the dates of the summit, in Hiroshima next month, and other gatherings of dignitaries from around the world. I myself have a strong sense of urgency that Ukraine today may be East Asia tomorrow. In thinking of the sustainability and inclusiveness of our nation's economy and society, we place child-rearing support as our most important policy. We will boost consumption and expand domestic demand by promoting efforts towards structural wage increases. In order to further advance the efforts of living with Corona and restore Japan to a state of normalcy, we will transition the various policies and measures to date in phases. The core of a virtuous economic cycle lies in wage growth, and must be realized at all costs. Companies must generate profits and then properly distribute them to workers. Consumption will grow, business investment will grow and further promote economic growth. Prime Minister Albanese told me Australia intends to remain as a reliable partner and a safe investment destination. We agreed to further bolster our cooperation in the areas of energy and natural resources. The deterrence capabilities of the Japan-US and US Republic of Korea alliances need to be upgraded as part of the essential effort to strengthen the trilateral partnership between Japan, the United States, and ROK. This entire situation has been created by Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and Russia's response to push this onto Japan-Russia relations is extremely unfair and completely unacceptable. This is a very serious situation which doesn't just affect Europe, but also Asia and the whole world order. The Russian invasion of Ukraine is a unilateral attempt to change the status quo, and the act shakes the foundation of the international order. It's an outright violation to international law and we strongly denounce the act. Japan stands by the Ukrainian people who are fighting hard to defend their sovereignty and territory, their homeland and families. In response to this situation, we will strengthen our sanction measures in close cooperation with the G7 and the rest of the international community. Quick action is needed given the rapid spread of the Omicron variant. Having won enough seats, Fumio Kishida doesn't need to inflate the spending package to counter opposition proposals for bigger fiscal stimulus. Through candid dialogue with the Chinese side, I want to get the wheel turning to create the Sino-Japanese relations that are suitable for a new age. Candidly speaking, a rapid and opaque increase in China's military spending and unilateral attempts to change the status quo in the East and South China Seas under the aim of building a strong maritime state are having not only people in Japan, but countries in the Asia-Pacific region and the international community worried greatly. Considering our country's policy and stance toward nuclear weapons, including the three non-nuclear principles, it is plainly inconceivable for the Japanese military to transport nuclear weapons. The risk that the situation will worsen and that there would be new massive emissions of radioactive materials is becoming considerably smaller. We believe that there is low possibility that a massive amount of radiation has been leaked. This is the largest earthquake since the Meiji era, and it is believed that more than 1,000 people have lost their lives. 7 decades after it was struck by an atom bomb, Hiroshima is a city of peace and hope. Monetary policy should be decided by the comprehensive assessment of various factors, not only the exchange rate but also the economy, inflation and its impact on small companies. If we give up the rules-based international order, and allow changes to the status quo by force, the effects will also spread to Africa and the world. In guiding monetary policy, policymakers must have a view on the outlook for the economy. There needs to be careful communication and dialogue with markets. Japan's national sport is sumo, and we expect the yokozuna, the highest-ranked wrestlers of sumo, to embody the ideals of spirit, technique and strength. In order to encourage the private sector to raise wages, we must create a virtuous cycle of wage increases and corporate growth to enable sustained wage increases. Public support for change is vital, and with that in mind I encourage political leaders and young people from around the world to visit Hiroshima and Nagasaki to see firsthand the catastrophic humanitarian consequences of nuclear weapons. Such visits themselves, I believe, would act as a powerful force for nuclear disarmament. New Zealand is famous around the world for sports, including rugby and yachting. In Japan, the black jersey and the haka of the All Blacks are appreciated not just by rugby fans, but by many. Russia's aggression against Ukraine undermines the foundation of global order, and we can in no way allow whatsoever such attempts to change the status quo by force wherever it may be in the world. To have a stable Japan-China relationship serves the interests of not only the United States but for the whole Asia-Pacific region. For the region's peace and stability, the United States' role is vital. I would like to ask the American people to be more interested and to be engaged in the Indo-Pacific region. And I am convinced by doing so, that would ensure the peace and prosperity of this region. Japan has been, and will remain, a strong advocate for strengthening the safeguard system of the International Atomic Energy Agency, an indispensable instrument for preventing any diversion of nuclear materials to non-peaceful use. We also continue to promote stringent export control in Asia and globally. Tied closely with the question of disarmament is the issue of non-proliferation, and here I would strongly urge North Korea to take concrete steps to fulfill its commitment of abandoning all nuclear weapons and existing nuclear programs, something that has been repeatedly requested by the international community. We cannot properly address the issue of nuclear disarmament without knowing the exact scope of the weapons, both deployed and stockpiled. Another benefit of greater transparency is that it will also help build public confidence that progress is being made on this issue. Linked by universal values such as freedom, democracy, human rights, and the rule of law, which have been shared through a long history of exchange, Japan and India are special strategic and global partners, which share strategic interests. I feel strongly from my experience of serving as foreign minister for 4 years and 8 months that there is nothing stronger than diplomacy and security with the understanding and support of the people.